Title of this lecture is Focus and Eye Conditions. There will be one very small, very brief, very not detailed drawing. Focus and eye conditions. So, I'm going to make one very simplified drawing here of a side view of the eye, and we're only going to include 3 parts. That's it right here.
These eyes are hard to draw.
Yeah, they're tricky. Just that right there. And we know the very front clear part of the eye right here that juts out is called the what? Cornea. This part that's flexible right here and clear is called the lens. In the very back of the eye, this layer that is the actual seeing part of the eye. The rest of the eye is just like machinery that helps us focus the light and make it land on this. But this is the part we're actually seeing with. And what's that called?
The retina.
That's the retina. Okay.
Are you doing retakes tomorrow?
I am indeed.
What time?
7 and 7:25.
Okay.
Okay. So our ability to see clearly depends on our eye's ability. Oh, now I'm at a conundrum here. I'm talking about 2 eyes, but it's possessive. Is it S and then apostrophe?
What?
Like this right here?
S then apostrophe.
Okay. It's plural because in both eyes and their ability. Okay, thank you, gang. All right, eye's ability to focus light on the retina. That's the name of the game right there. You have to be able to focus the light on the retina, focus the image on the retina. There's a little wheel on the projector that you're looking into, unless you're at home, and that wheel is the focus wheel, so that we can dial in perfectly the distance between the lens and the LCD so that it comes into focus on the wall there. Okay, just like this camera. Hello everybody. This camera that's viewing this paper has to be focused on the paper for you to be able to read this clearly. Okay, you get too close or too far away, it doesn't work. Let me try it just to make sure. If I get closer, it's not focused because it's set to a specific focal length. Now your eyes will continually adjust if they can. Their ability is largely dependent on these things though, okay? These 3 things. And any of these will have a pretty big impact. Number 1, the curve of the cornea. The clear part at the front of the eye, if the curve of that is slightly off of where it is supposed to be, then you won't be able to focus an image very well on the retina. Okay? So the cornea is a player here. Okay, another one is the length of the eye. Literally, how deep the eye is. If the eye is too long, the image won't be able to come clear on the retina, and if the eye is too short, you've got the same problem. Okay? The third thing is this. The third thing is either the placement or flexibility of the lens. If the lens itself is too far back or too far forward, it'll make it difficult for it to try to focus on there. Also, the lens has to be flexible to do what it does, to be able to change its shape to focus the light from a near or far distance. All of these things play a factor. Now, it's not particularly important to your eye doctor which one of these causes the problem, because they're all fixed the same way. Okay, they're all fixed with corrective lenses or LASIK surgery if you go that route. So let's start by talking about the issues of the eye, and that's what we're going to end today. Eye issues relating to focus. The first of these eye issues, and maybe because I'm egocentric, myopia, because this is the one that I have. It's myopia. All right. This is the same thing as being nearsighted. I have to wear these, okay? I wear these glasses every day because I can't see very far without them. I can see this paper just fine, and things within about 6 feet I can see perfectly clearly, but beyond that, not so much. And in this case, the eye is too long. Okay. Note, I'm going to put that in quotation marks because it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be that the eye is too long. What else could it be? Right. Well, it's not so much going to be too short, but it could be something else about the eye. What?
Flexibility of the lens. It's not flexible.
Yeah, the lens not being flexible. It could have to do with the curve of the cornea being such, or it could have to do with the placement of the lens. But the bottom line is this, okay? If you have myopia, it means that this is what's happening in your eye. It's trying to focus the image, but it can't because of where this is placed, how long the eye is, or whatever. What's happening is it's trying to focus that light on the retina, but it can only ever focus it in front of the retina. No matter how hard it tries, it only focuses in front of the retina. So the way to fix that is with a diverging lens, or a concave lens like mine is. It's wider on the top, narrower in the middle. It causes the light to spread out. Then when it hits your lens, it can focus it all the way back here on the retina. Now, you've already seen the next one here. The opposite condition of myopia is what? Starts with an H. Hyperopia. I do have a bit of a problem with this nomenclature because I like words a lot, okay? Typically things that have hyper, the opposite of it would be what? Hypo, right. Typically things that there's a hyper, like hyperthermia, it's where your body gets too hot. Hypothermia is the opposite, okay? I don't know if it's because it starts with an O. They didn't want to be hypoopia. I'm not sure, but well, for whatever reason, it's not the same. But hyperopia is being farsighted. And I should probably clarify, even though the name's trying to tell you what it means. Being nearsighted means you can see up close. Farsighted means you can see far away. You can just go ahead and assume that the other is true. If I can see close, what can I not see? Far away. Okay? And in this case, the eye is too what? Short. Again, I'm putting quotation marks there. It's not always that the eye is too short. The eye could be perfectly fine. And let me talk about long and short here where this is concerned. If you were to dissect an eye that had one or the other of these conditions, just from looking at it, you probably wouldn't be able to tell. We're talking about distances that are millionths of a meter, moving the lens back a millionth or 5 millionths of a meter, and so on and so forth. So it doesn't take a whole lot for it to throw the whole thing off a bunch. So in hyperopia, here's what it looks like. The image would come in to perfect focus back behind the retina. So we got to use a converging lens that brings the light beams in and bends them inward so that it can come into focus when it hits the retina, the image can. But there is another type of hyperopia that I need to talk about. There is a division of it here called presbyopia. Presbyopia is age-related hyperopia. And what happens in this guy is that you end up, the lens becomes rigid. This happens to everybody eventually, okay? Your lens is basically nothing more than a bag of proteins and water. And over time, the stuff that's in there becomes hardened, and it cannot expand the way, nor can it recoil in the way that it's supposed to give you that normal vision. And the way it looks is this. And you've probably seen this before. You're like, hey, Dad, watch this video. And you hand him the phone, and he holds his arm like as far away from his body as possible to watch the video, okay? Or to send a text message or to see what's going on, okay? Because the lens losing its flexibility means that you become farsighted as a result of that. Now, there are people that have both myopia and presbyopia because this is their natural prescription, and this happens as a result of the lens. So they have to have two different prescriptions in their glasses, one for near, one for far. What kind of glasses are those? Bifocals. The top of the glass will be to correct for the myopia, so it will be a minus prescription, and the bottom of the lens will be presbyopia, and it will be a plus prescription. So your contacts, this is most common here. If your contact prescription says minus something, -2, -5, whatever, it means it's correcting for myopia. If your contact prescription says plus something, it's correcting for hyperopia. Okay. In addition to those, this is not really so much a condition as it is a blessing. Emmetropia. That's perfect vision. There's your excuse. You know, you got to call into school. Can't come to school. Why not? You've got emmetropia. Oh, no. Yeah. Doctors say they can't treat it. Anything they do would just make it worse. Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know. Might be a while. So it won't go away till I'm like 40. Oh, wow. Anyway. Not saying to try that. But if you want to, there's another one called eupnea. EUPNEA. It's a lung condition. It means quiet breathing. Right now, you all have eupnea. Just chilling there, breathing. All right.
If I skip school tomorrow and I use that as my excuse, would you laugh or would you?
I would. Yeah. You're on video, by the way, Kyle. All right. I did not suggest it. I guess I kind of did. Now I have to be official. Don't do that, everybody. Come to school. Get an education. It's good for you. All right. All right. What's next here? But it sounds so sad. Like, won't be better till I'm 40. Well, there's some hope there, you know. All right. Last one is this: astigmatism. Astigmatism is a misshaping of the cornea. It could be of other parts of the eye, but usually it's the cornea. And what that means is this: your prescription may be like a -2 or a -2.25 or whatever. That's like your general prescription for the whole eye. Like here's what we're going to correct for. But let's say on a certain part of the cornea, so let's say this is I'm just going to little circle here. So this is the cornea here, and just this little area of the cornea you wouldn't be able to see it from the outside, but it's just a little bit thinner or a little bit thicker, and light bends through this differently. That's one of the reasons that the eye doctor, they're like, is this better or is this better? One or two? One or two? They're flipping through, and they're putting little cylinders, they're putting little glass on each part all the way around here to make sure that your cornea is consistent all the way around. Because if they find a part with an astigmatism, that means that if they give you just a general corrective lens prescription, it won't fix this one little area that's off. Okay? So, and this can be anywhere in any part of the eye, and varying degrees of severity as well. And so with glasses, they have lenses that have, there's certain shapes here and different parts of them that are different to fix that. Forever, they didn't have contact lenses that would fix this. Why?
Because you don't put them on the same.
Yeah, it's complicated. It's different on everybody's eyes in different places and different strengths. Plus, here's the complication with contact lenses. When they rest on your eye, they rest on your cornea, and they spin. Your glasses don't do that. So if they spin in place, that means that part that's corrected to something else would rotate to a different spot. So they had to figure out ways to accommodate for that. They started with weights, like put a little, not like barbells, but like little extra pieces of heavy plastic at the bottom, and gravity would pull them down, but they didn't do a good job. So what they do now is they taper them at the top and bottom, so every time you blink, they kind of recorrect themselves back in. All right. Now let's talk about visual acuity here. That sounds like a big word, but what it means is like 20/20. Visual acuity. Visual acuity. Measure of how well we see. On this type of thing, folks, I'm going to tell you what it is, but I've got a feeling that you're going to think I made this up. Okay? What 20/20 really means is this. It's perfect. Means you can see at 20 feet. Oh, you can't see that because it's off the screen. At 20 feet, what someone with perfect vision can see at 20 feet. Kind of a weird system. Your vision's perfect because you can see standing at 20 feet, but somebody with perfect vision can see standing at 20 feet. Yay! Well, let's look at my prescription here, or my visual acuity is 20/80. Means that I can see at 20 feet what someone with perfect vision can see from 80 feet away. Those eye charts with the big E at the top and all the other things like that, the standard distance to stand from those is 20 feet, unless they're set up differently, if they're set up to be adjusted for that. But yeah, so, and as it goes up, it gets worse and worse. Now, could I drive without my glasses? No, legally I can't. I have restrictions on my driver's license that I have to wear glasses, but you can take your driver's test or your vision test on your driver's test with glasses, and so but it'll say you got to correct for it, so on and so forth. But this one is of concern. If you're 2200 uncorrected, no, I'm sorry, whoa, back that up. Corrected means that if you've got glasses, contacts, everything they can do to correct your vision, and you're still 2200, guess what?
You're legally blind.
You're legally blind. At 2200, if corrected. Now, there's plenty of people walking around with glasses and contacts that correct back to 20/20, and they're fine. But if they've done all they can do to correct your vision and you still are 2200, then you're legally blind. Okay. So that's what visual acuity is. These are the main reasons that people need glasses. Now, I will talk about one other mechanism of correction, and here's what it is. Lasik. What they do on Lasik is this. If this is the cornea, kind of ignore this little blotch here. They will take a little thing with a razor blade on it and slice your cornea back and fold back a flap of it. They will take lasers and they will cook the surface of your cornea to change its shape until it's the right shape. Then they fold the little flap back, let it heal up, and basically your cornea becomes your own personal permanent contact lens. It reshapes to where the light bends perfectly and you don't ever need glasses again. So, kind of a neat procedure.
Is that anything that's supposed to work like the rest of your life?
Yeah, it should, as long as your eyes aren't still changing, okay? Because the shape of your eyes, once you're an adult, the shape of your eyes is going to stay pretty consistent. Now, your lenses may fail and things like that. And sometimes things can happen where the shape changes, but generally you wait till you're an adult for, before you get LASIK done, because there's some things that can change. But yeah, it should keep for the rest of your life. Go ahead.
What happens if you blink during?
I think they use something to hold the eye open, like they have like a little speculum of some sort to hold the eye open. Otherwise, yeah, that would be bad. Laser burns straight through. Oh, look at that. I've got holes in my eyelids. I can see light even asleep.